Hey, it's Chelsea. Thank you so much for being here. In this video, we are taking a look at the astrology for the week ahead, really as we come off of that Cancer full moon and move into mid-January. So we just had our first full moon in 2023, though we are still working through a lot of things that may have began for us back in 2022. One of the bigger themes that is going to be creating a big shift for all of us this week is Mars stationing direct January 12th in the sign of Gemini at 8 degrees. So, this retrograde process with Mars in Gemini really began back in September. September 3rd is when Mars would have first reached 8 degrees of Gemini. So now is a good time to think back and reflect on what may have changed for you um, in your life, in the way that you take action, or even the way that you process information, or the way that your mind impacts the way that you take action. But also, there has been such a big energy of just learning how to surrender and just flow, especially as Mars had squared, been in a hard aspect with Neptune already twice this Mars retrograde, and it's going to be happening a third time in February. So that's really going to be just offering us opportunities to really strengthen our abilities and strengthen the skill sets that we have gained during this Mars retrograde. So if you want to kind of reflect on how this Mars retrograde has been impacting you, take a look to your chart and locate 8 degrees of Gemini up until 25 degrees of Gemini. And look to see if you have any planets or points within that space or interacting with that space to understand how this may have affected you personally. I know the mutable signs being Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces, may have really been feeling this Mars retrograde because it would have been making hard aspects to whatever planets or placements you have in that area. But so, as we reach Mars stationing direct, this is really going to begin a process of moving forward, but it's going to be a very gradual process because when we look to the ruler of Gemini, Mercury, we've still got Mercury retrograde. And also, when we look to Aries, where Mars rules, Jupiter is still moving through its retrograde shadow, where it will move past February 14th. So these planets are gradually starting to move direct, gradually starting to clear their retrograde shadows, but it is a process that we are still working through. But as we move into February, we're just going to feel so much resistance clear up. And especially as we are moving into March, when all of the planets really are clearing their retrograde shadows, all planets will be direct for at least a couple months until Mercury stations retrograde once again. And then that's really going to be an amazing time to take advantage of in taking action and in moving forward, because we really are going to be reaching this pivotal moment where there's just going to be a lot of doorways presenting themselves to us and a lot of opportunities opening up to us. And so right now, one of the best way to work with this and take advantage of this right now, I keep hearing this quote by Abraham Hicks: be ready to be ready. So whatever that may mean for you, because so often we just want things to happen and we get stuck in our heads and we kind of just get in this negative state of just wanting things to move forward and kind of feeling a little pessimistic and just feeling like nothing is ever going to happen. And then suddenly something flies into our reality completely unexpected, and it takes us off guard. We're not ready for it because we weren't taking advantage of that preparation time. And so that's really a powerful way to take advantage of this energy right now, is allowing ourselves to prepare, to be ready, to stay present and stay grounded, because we really do have a lot of electrifying energy moving through the air right now, especially as over the last few days we have had crazy solar flares, M-class solar flares, X-class solar flares, just lots of solar storms. And we're really impacted by that electromagnetic energy that flies into our reality because we are electromagnetic beings. So, certain ways that these electromagnetic storms could have impacted us would be like feeling lethargic, not being able to sleep, our nervous system just feeling completely out of whack, maybe anxiety, depression, melancholy. Like it can really impact our emotions and our moods. And so that's why it's so important to stay grounded right now, stay present, and really connect with whatever it is that you need that will assist you in moving forward. So just really connect to yourself right now and ask yourself, what do you need? Coming off of that full moon in Cancer today, we have the moon in Leo, and that's something that we'll be working with. And so, with the moon in Leo, you really want to connect to your heart space and just ask yourself, what do you need right now? How can you creatively express yourself? How can you nurture your inner child and just allow yourself to play and explore and have fun and really just try to like let loose as we clear out this energy. And I mean, coming off of that full moon in Cancer, that was such a big release and this big energy of just letting go and clearing out. But it's definitely a process, and it's something that we just have to continually do as energies start propelling us forward once again. So, let's take a look at the charts and see kind of what is going on. As you can see, we are starting the week off with Venus at 8 degrees of Aquarius and a harmonious air trine with Mars at 8 degrees in Gemini. And so, this is a really beautiful, supportive energy that Venus is offering Mars. As I've mentioned, Mars is going to be stationing direct at 8 degrees of Gemini. And that's exactly where this is because Mars is pretty much at a standstill right now. For the entire month of January, we are going to be seeing Mars only move 2 degrees. And so we have the planet of taking action at a complete standstill. And so, as I've mentioned, this energy of taking action is going to be a slower building process as we are continuing to move through the resistance and also move through the parts of our minds that hold us back. Aquarius and Gemini, being air signs, have such a big impact on the mind, and as well as those solar storms that we have been under the influence of for the last few days. And so, with Venus and Mars in this harmonious air trine, it's really a great time to be asking yourself, what do you value? What do you appreciate? And how can you allow that to be a source of inspiration for you? How can you allow your inspirations to assist you in taking action, really moving into that inspired action? With Venus in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, there's this energy of balancing the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, balancing logic with creativity, and figuring out how to merge the two, and also utilizing the creative mind in order to assist with taking action. Mercury at 14 degrees of Capricorn, coming off of a harmonious trine to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is also preparing to change directions and to station direct this month as well, January 22nd. And so, whenever planets change their trajectory, whenever they shift directions, their energy is most felt. This is a time when unexpected news could be arriving and even just new perspectives or new understandings, because we really have been on this journey of rewiring our consciousness, of rewiring the neural pathways in our brain ever since October when Mars stationed retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and really understanding why we do certain things, understanding the thoughts behind the actions that we take, and even so far as understanding ourselves at a very deep subconscious level. Uranus is known as the higher octave of Mercury. It really is this higher consciousness, this higher mind. This could be a really good time to understand what is needed in your world, or to understand what others around you need for receiving inspiration and receiving insight of something that you would like to create. So, moving on to January 11th, Venus will be in an exact square with the nodes. So, this is an energy that's going to be felt for a few days, but as I've mentioned, it will be peaking January 11th. So, you can see Venus in the sign of Aquarius at 10 degrees, square the north node at 10 degrees of Taurus, and the south node at 10 degrees of Scorpio. So, this is a really great energy of clearing things out, letting go, releasing something in order to make space for something new. Whatever it is that you're letting go of right now, clear it out with the intention of creating space so that you are opening yourself up to something new to come in and replace whatever that old thing is, come in and replace it in divine timing, even if it's not something that you need right now. Allow yourself to clear out things that you don't need and just have the intention that through you releasing that object or whatever these things may be, you are creating space for something that is more in alignment with yourself and with the person that you are evolving into, and with the period in your life that you are moving into. And with this square to the nodes, there is still this harmonious air trine that is happening with Mars. And that's really offering support in clearing out things in order to move yourself forward in a new direction. And another significant aspect that we will be under the influence of is Mercury at 11 degrees of Capricorn, moving into its Earth trine with the North Node at 10 degrees of Taurus, as well as in a sextile with the South Node at 10 degrees. These aspects that Mercury is making to the nodes is going to be an energy that we will be under the influence of for about 10 days up until January 24th. This is an energy that is going to be very supportive as Mercury stations direct. With this sextile to the South node, it's offering an opportunity as long as there is some sort of risk that we are willing to take, something that we may need to sacrifice in order to reap some rewards. And so, really venturing into the depths of the mind to reflect and to understand what it is that we have learned on this very long journey. Because I would say that this Mercury retrograde energy has been very long lasting. When Mars stationed retrograde in Gemini, that's really when we began this journey of reconfiguring the mind, restructuring our mind so that we are really able to process information in a way that is efficient, and so that we are sorting through the depths of our mind, the depths of our subconscious, to understand what energetic blocks we may have been holding on to so that we can work through them, clear them. And as we do clear them, it's going to be easier for us to move to the direction that it is that we want to be moving towards. As we release those old parts of ourselves, clear out that clutter that has been deep in our minds, deep being held within our body, as we clear that out, we're going to be able to be moving forward in a way that is so much more efficient, in a way that is so much more in our power, and in a way that is truly in alignment with ourselves, with our desires, what is important to us, as well as our goals and what we want to create in this life. Use this time to reflect on really this journey that has been going on over the last several months. Reflect on how much you have changed over just that small amount of time. How much has changed in your life? And understand where you are still seeking change in life, and really planning that out, creating plans so that you can begin to see tangible results, and so that you can move in a way that is flowing and in a way that is in alignment and in a way that is free of resistance. And one more aspect that is significant that is peaking January 11th is this square that Mercury in Capricorn is making to Chiron in Aries. This is really highlighting to us where we may still be holding on to pain or trauma or wounds, understanding how those old scenarios may still be weighing us down or impacting us in our lives today. When we go through traumatic situations, even situations from our childhood from many years ago, we can move through life in a way that is completely impacted by those traumatic situations, and we move through life in a state of fear. And so now is the time to release that fear so that once all of the planets are moving direct, we're able to move forward in a way that is fearless. We are able to take action in ways that might scare us, but that also excite us. And so here is the big day, January 12th at 3:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mars stations direct at 8 degrees of Gemini. As Mars is stationing, it's really going to be at a standstill. And so it's going to be hovering at that 8-degree mark. So as Mercury reaches 8 degrees of Capricorn, where it will be stationing direct, Mercury and Mars will be in a quincunx. And this is an energy where you really want to try to figure out how to merge these two energies. Where might we have blind spots that we are still working through in our minds? Be open to outer influences or be open to external situations that may be triggering, because this is showing us where we can still learn and where we can still improve in certain areas of our lives, or in the way that we take action, or in the way that we communicate. So it's interesting that Mars and Mercury will both be stationing direct at 8 degrees of these signs. If you want more information about this Mars retrograde and stationing direct, or as well as Mercury and its retrograde and stationing direct, I do have 2 separate videos about that. Be sure to allow your nervous system some rest and some rejuvenation at this time. This would be a really great time for self-care, or just nurturing yourself to calm any sort of anxious energy or nervous tension that you may be feeling in your body. Allow yourself to do something to express yourself in a way that allows for this abundance of energy to flow through you. So Uranus is going to be making a lot of strong aspects through the course of this week, and Uranus is the planet of awakenings and surprise and shocking new developments, shocking revelations. And so allow yourself to stay grounded and expect the unexpected, especially as Uranus is preparing to station, as it will be stationing direct January 22nd. As I've mentioned, whenever planets change direction, that is when their impacts can be felt most strongly. And so with Uranus, yeah, there can be a lot of nervous energy. So just be sure to stay grounded, kind of like a lightning rod. You really want to ground yourself so that you are able to pull in this abundance of electrifying energy that we have coming in, and really allow it to move out of the body and to be transmuted into the earth. Through different tools, science is able to analyze the frequency that certain foods emit. And whenever we have foods that are fresh, they're going to be emitting a stronger, higher frequency than foods that are lacking in color or lacking in life. When you think of Venus in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus, you really can think of the way that our food emits frequency and color and emits life. And so this is a really powerful time. I mean, it's always a great time to be filling our body with real living foods, foods that are bright in vibrancy, bright in nutrients, and just really uplifting for the body. But right now, it's almost like those foods are able to more significantly impact our body at that time. Like, our bodies are more sensitive to the power of vibrant living foods right now. So this week, just be sure to flood your body with things that are high vibration, like bright foods and juices, fruits, vegetables, different teas and herbs, honey, or really offering your body that support at an energetic level to assist in moving through these energies. Feeding into the power of our body's electromagnetic field is going to assist us in moving through this week in a way that is really in our power and in a way that is not weighed down by these drastic vibrational shifts that we're moving through. As Mars is shifting direction, that can be a time that would bring up agitation or bring up anger or like this suppressed energy, suppressed fear, suppressed anger. And we are already seeing that. Like this past weekend, there were some pretty big riots happening at different places of the world. And so I would definitely attribute that to Mars stationing, Mars coming to a halt and preparing to shift energy and to preparing to shift direction. If I had to pick some sort of medicine to assist us in navigating through this week, I would say leaning into frequencies to assist our bodies because Uranus is making some really big aspects as well as Mercury. And as I've mentioned, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and it has so much to do with frequencies, with the unseen energy, the electrifying energy that unites us all, this cosmic consciousness that we are all immersed in, this plasma that is being emitted to our Earth through these solar storms, through the coronal mass ejections coming from the sun. So now is a really powerful time to work with frequencies, whether it's sound healing to align our body at a vibrational level and to bring harmony into our body at a deep cellular level, or flooding our body with vibrant nutrients that come straight from foods, just fueling our body with high quality hydration, good quality water, medicinal teas, medicinal tinctures, really things that are bright in vibrancy, consuming them, surrounding ourselves in that. The energy that is going to be emitted from nature right now is just so vibrant and is so powerful. And nature is offering us healing right now. Our animals are offering us healing because our animals, children, we're all going through these significant energetic shifts together. And this really is the calm before the storm. This is this final stillness that we are going to begin to experience a gradual uptick in momentum over the next several weeks. And it's really beginning this week. So just be sure to stay grounded right now. A lot of people may be under the influence of agitation and of irritation. And this is a lot of energy to be moving through. So just be sure that you are checking in with your body to understand what it needs. How can you assist your body in moving old stagnant energy out? Because as Mars is at a standstill, there's going to be a lot of parts within ourselves energetically that are also at a standstill, creating this energetic stagnancy within our body. And so really check in with yourself right now to understand, what do you need? How can you move this energy out of your body? And because Mars is going to be at a standstill, a lot of us might be feeling drained. We might be feeling like we are low energy or like we don't have energy to do the things that we want to do. But so something that is so powerful that you don't even really have to do anything is just find some sort of frequency healing on YouTube, whether it's like just different hertz that offer healing and harmony for the body, or crystal singing bowls. Do a guided meditation. Just allow your body to experience that stillness, because within that stillness, that is where we are going to find the gold, find the hidden treasure. That is where we are going to be able to move through this energy that we are experiencing and to really shake off that resistance that may have felt like it's been building up all around us for so long. Just tuning our biofield. Like, we all have an aura, right? Or other words, our biofield. And it's this electromagnetic energy that we have that surrounds our body. And when we experience pain or trauma, then we start to experience blockages outside of our body, like anywhere in our energy field around our aura. And so this is energy with the support of Uranus and with the stillness right now that we are under the influence of. We are able to clear that out of our body. So really tune in with not just your physical body, but your energetic body, as I've mentioned, the aura, your emotional body. How are you feeling? Where are you holding on to old stagnant energy, and where can you release it? Your mental body. How are you processing all of this information right now? And what might you need in order to navigate these shifts in a way where your mind is strong, where you're not falling into these dark loops, these just negative downward spirals into dark holes. And also ask your spiritual body what it is that you need right now. What will light up your spirit? What will really inspire you and just lift you up and just make you feel really good and really excited and motivated to begin moving forward and just being ready to be ready. So I hope that you found insight and value in something that I have talked about in this video. And also feel free to please like, share, and subscribe. And Pharaoh has just arrived to say hello. Do you want to say hi, Pharaoh? Come say hi. Come, come say hi. As I've mentioned, the animals are so sensitive, and the animals are also here to help us in navigating our shifts right now. Say hi, Pharaoh. Say hello. He's a little confused. He just woke up from a nap. But anyway, I hope you have a nice week and are able to stay grounded and to really still find calmness and centeredness and stillness within yourself in order to navigate through these shifts with ease. But thank you so much for being here. Until next time.